Hello, this is a video on some important ideas on how decimal multiplication works. This video accompanies module number 3 on multiplying decimals in the PFD bootcamp. The rule when multiplying decimals is to first of all just multiply the numbers, ignoring the decimal point temporarily. Then find the total number of decimal places to the right of the decimal point in all the factors being multiplied. This will be the number of decimal places to the right of the decimal point in the answer. Let's take a look at an example. In this example, we have 3/10 times 5/100. We first of all multiply 3 times 5 and get 15. Then we count the total number of decimal places to the right of the decimal point in the original factors. There's 1 place to the right here, 2 places to the right here. That's 3 places to the right. So I need to take the decimal point, which is right here to begin with, and move it 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3 places. This is going to cause me to need to introduce a 0. 3/10 times 5/100 is 15 thousandths. So when multiplying decimals, you may need to add a 0. The next thing is to use estimation to make sure your answer is reasonable. Here I've carried out a multiplication, and I did notice that there were 2 decimal places here and 1 here to the right of the decimal, making a total of 3 decimal places to the right. And I moved the decimal point over here so that I have 3 decimal places to the right of the decimal in the answer. But let's estimate to see if this is in the ballpark. This number is approximately 5. This number is approximately 7. So 5 times 7 is going to be a pretty good estimate. That's 35. Now if I look at my answer, I see that my answer here is close to 35. If I would have put the decimal point in the wrong place, I would not have been anywhere near 35. The last thing I'd like to discuss is what happens when you multiply by numbers less than 1, equal to 1, and greater than 1. The first of all, I think everyone realizes that multiplying by 1 keeps the number the same. 23.6 times 1 is 23.6. That's the identity property of multiplication. When multiplying by a number larger than 1, the number will be made larger. So if we take 23.6 times 1.5, we get 35 and 40/100. Notice that 35 and 40/100 is larger than 23.6. When multiplying by a number smaller than 1, it makes the number smaller. So if I take this same 23.6 times 6/10, I get an answer of 18.88. The reason for this is 8/10 is less than 1, so this is like 80%. So I'm only going to get 80% of 23 and 6/10, giving an answer of 18 and 88/100, which is smaller than 23 and 6/10. Let's apply this. In the first example, I have 74/100 times 5 and 93/100. Since this first number is less than 1, that's going to cause my answer to be less than 5.93. So we have 3 regions here to the left of 0.74, between the numbers, and greater than 5.93. My estimate of my answer is going to fall in this middle region because the 74/100 is going to cause the answer to be less than 5.93. In the next example, we have 2.3 times 5.93. This will cause the answer to be in this region. And finally, in my final problem, both numbers are less than 1, which is going to cause the answer to be less than both the numbers. So my answer is going to fall in this region.